The ancient Stoic philosopher Epictetus once wisely said, "Keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best." It's a statement that holds incredible weight, particularly when we consider the idea that we are often the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. Today, let's explore this concept through the lens of Stoic philosophy and examine how certain types of people can derail our progress toward personal growth and tranquility. We'll also discuss how we can navigate these relationships with wisdom and resilience. Before we dive in, I'd really appreciate it if you could like this video. Your support helps spread the principles of Stoicism to more people. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend subscribing and hitting the bell so you don't miss any of our future discussions. 1. The complainer. First, let's talk about the complainer. We all know this person, whether it's a friend, family member, or co-worker. They seem to find fault in everything. The weather, their job, or even the food at a popular restaurant. Nothing is ever quite right for them. At first, it might seem easy to brush off their negativity, but over time, this constant complaining can wear you down. Think of it this way. Imagine you're working on a project with someone who constantly complains. Each meeting feels like an emotional drain, with no solutions in sight. This kind of energy isn't just frustrating. It depletes your emotional reserves, much like a leaky faucet that slowly drains a full bucket of water. Stoicism teaches us to focus on actionable solutions rather than fixating on problems. Instead of feeding into the complaints, try redirecting the conversation toward a constructive direction, or finding ways to distance yourself mentally. As Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." 2. The drama magnet. Next, we have the drama magnet. These individuals seem to have an unending supply of crises and conflicts. At first, you may find their energy exciting or even thrilling, but eventually, you'll realize they are like a whirlpool pulling everyone around them into a vortex of chaos. Let's say you have a friend who constantly has issues with others in your social circle. Today, it's Sarah they're fighting with. Tomorrow, it's Tom. Their drama starts to feel like your own, and soon, you're caught in a web of conflicts you never intended to be part of. How do you deal with this? One technique is called reflective listening, where you mirror their words back to them. This allows you to offer emotional support without becoming emotionally entangled yourself. Another approach is setting boundaries. Stoicism encourages us to value our time, so don't let someone else's drama steal your peace. Establish times when you focus on your own life and well-being, and make it clear when you're unavailable. 3. The Naysayer. The Naysayer is another type to avoid. Picture yourself working on a personal project or pursuing a new career, filled with excitement and anticipation. You share your goals with a naysayer, only to be met with doubt, criticism, and negativity. They quickly point out all the reasons why your dreams are unrealistic, whether it's because of the market, your skills, or the fear of failure. Dealing with a naysayer requires strategy. First, instead of simply sharing your plans, ask them for advice. When people are put in the position of offering suggestions, they often move away from criticism and provide more thoughtful input. Another approach is called positive confrontation, where you gently challenge their negative statements with constructive alternatives. For instance, if they say, "You'll never be able to switch careers now," ask, "What steps do you think someone could take to successfully transition into a new field?" By shifting the conversation in this way, you redirect the negativity into a more productive discussion. Number 4. The victim. The victim is a person who perpetually blames external forces for their problems. Life is like a game of chess. Everyone has the same pieces, but the victim refuses to make strategic moves. They believe they're always at a disadvantage, claiming that circumstances, other people, or the universe itself are working against them. While it's true that some people face real challenges, the victim mentality often arises from a refusal to take responsibility. They stay stuck in their narrative of blame and helplessness. You might find yourself caught in this cycle, offering advice or emotional support, but never seeing any real progress. In these situations, the Stoic principle of compassionate detachment can help. Show empathy, but don't try to solve their problems for them. Respectfully set boundaries, and remember that we cannot control others, only our own actions. Number 5. The toxic positivist. The toxic positivist is someone who insists on seeing only the bright side, even when it isn't warranted. Their advice may sound uplifting at first. Just stay positive, or everything happens for a reason, but it can be dismissive of your true feelings, especially during tough times. Imagine you're going through a difficult breakup. You're feeling heartbroken, confused, and in need of emotional balance. But the toxic positivist brushes off your pain with a cheerful, "Don't worry, there are plenty of fish in the sea." While it may seem like they're trying to help, this type of forced optimism can leave you feeling invalidated. To deal with the toxic positivist, try engaging in a conversation that embraces both the positive and the negative. Acknowledge your feelings and express that it's okay to feel upset. Stoicism teaches us that true happiness comes from understanding and embracing the full spectrum of human emotions. Life isn't just about happiness, it's about balance, acceptance, and wisdom. Number 6. The manipulator. Now, let's talk about the manipulator. These people are skilled at subtly steering your actions for their benefit, often using guilt, flattery, or emotional manipulation to get their way. Imagine a friend who always manages to get you to pay for dinner, claiming they've had a rough time and you're more successful, so it's no big deal for you. Over time, you may start to feel used, but confronting them can feel awkward because they've framed their requests as harmless. When dealing with manipulators, one technique is called fogging. This involves agreeing with any truth in their statements without giving in to emotional manipulation. For example, if they say, "You're so successful you should cover dinner," you can respond with, "Yes, I've been doing well, but let's split the bill as usual." Setting clear boundaries is crucial, and Stoicism teaches us that while we can't control others, we can control how we respond to them. Number 7. The time vampire. The time vampire is a person who subtly drains your time and energy, leaving you feeling scattered and overwhelmed. These individuals might not mean any harm, but their constant interruptions or demands can seriously disrupt your flow. Whether it's a colleague who asks endless questions or a friend who constantly invites you to events you're not interested in, these time drainers can erode your productivity and well-being. To protect your time, you can use the Pomodoro technique, which helps you block out time for focused work, with breaks in between. During these focused intervals, make it clear that you are unavailable. If you find yourself dealing with a social time vampire, remember that it's okay to say no. A simple, "I appreciate the invitation, but I can't make it," is enough. You don't owe anyone an elaborate excuse, and it's important to prioritize your time and energy for your own well-being. Conclusion. Reflection on ourselves. As we wrap up today's discussion on the 7 types of people who can derail your progress, it's important to take a moment for reflection. While we may recognize these patterns in others, we must also ask ourselves, are we unintentionally playing one of these roles in someone else's life? Stoicism isn't just about dealing with the world around us. It's also about self-awareness and self-improvement. If this video has sparked some introspection, or if you've had similar experiences, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Let's engage in a conversation that enriches us all. Until next time, may your actions be guided by wisdom, your relationships by virtue, and your life be the masterpiece you're meant to create.